Hey everyone, just dropping in to say hello. My name's Johnny Gaston. Welcome into the podcast. How am I doing? Glad you asked. I am getting better and better. And if you know me very well, you know I don't like to do things halfway. And so several things I got to tell you right in the outset is there's a reason why I put a date on the calendar, December 1st, to make this podcast be dropped. Because I just wanted to force myself to do it. I'm just like you or anyone else. You have a goal, an aspiration, something you want to accomplish. It's hard. Just starting's hard. It really is. And so I sympathize with anyone who has a hard time just getting started. That's why they say the heaviest weight in the gym, you know what it is? It's the door. It's the door. Just get in the door and you're about 90% there. You know, nothing can be as exciting as like a blank canvas where you're starting something new. You know, maybe you are, to follow along with that analogy, learning how to paint. And that blank canvas is exciting, but it can be intimidating. You know, like where do I start? I mean, just putting a stroke on the canvas can be intimidating. Like where do I put it first? Where am I going? How am I going to develop this picture? And so as I am doing this podcast moving forward, you'll see we're just going to be kind of connecting puzzle pieces together and building the framework and then filling in the blanks until we have a completed picture. And so this podcast is going to be interesting to say the least because do I have a direction? Yes, I have a mapped out trajectory, but those things can be molded. And so this podcast, you can look at it as like a big lump of clay, and it's being molded by my friends who are listening to this. And so that's where you come into play, and that's where the puzzle pieces are fit in together. And so just in the outset, let me tell you, in the beginning, we'll talk about the why I'm doing this. The second, we'll talk about the vision and the mission. And third, we'll talk about how you're involved and what, your involvement can be in terms of developing and helping me develop this book. And so let me tell you first the why. So 5 years ago, I had a dream, and it was very vivid. And that dream, some of you heard me talk about before, I call it the torchbearer dream. You're seeing an illustrated version of that right now. This dream, now it's a real dream. This is not just something I had thought up in my mind, daydreaming or something like that. But this is a dream that I had at night. And the dream started out, actually as me like watching this torchbearer, if you will, running. I didn't know who it was, just someone running with a torch that's been lit with a large flame. And it just kept going on and on. The dream lasted, it seemed like forever. I'm like, where's this guy going? It was dark. It looked like the sun had just gone down. This is at dusk, and he's running with this flame, and I just kept seeing him running. And as you can see, it just kind of like drone footage, like from above. And so all of a sudden, in the distance, I saw a light, and like a light post with several lights on it. And underneath this light post was a circle, and in the circle was a man standing with his arm outstretched as far as he could to receive this torch. And so this is kind of like an Olympics like relay race. You have like a baton that they pass from one person to the next on a team. And so in this case, the person was running with this torch to pass it off, and as soon as he reached the other runner and successfully passed it off, he fell to the ground and pretty much disappeared, almost to maybe die, maybe fade away. His part was done, and then he passes it on to the next person. Now, realize this dream has been interpreted many times. I've shared it with many people. My first time sharing it was with my wife, and then the next night I had the same dream verbatim. And the next night, I believe the reason why I had the dream again the third time is because I asked God specifically, like, God, if it be your will, if this be something that you want me to know or something for me to understand, I want to have this dream again. I don't know if you ever had a dream before and maybe you woke up at a point where you wish you didn't and you try to keep dreaming it. I think we've all been there before. That's where this was. The second dream, this is where it ended. Just like the first time I dreamed it. And I just didn't understand why I didn't see what happened next. I just saw the torch be passed to the next person, and then after that, the man fell to the ground, disappeared, and the guy just began to run. And so next thing you know, I was just kind of watching again the runner, run with this torch. Well, in the midst of this dream, the perspective changed. And that's the most interesting part that I left out in telling it. So I was watching it from I'll call it the drone footage, and the perspective changed in the middle of the dream to me being the runner. And so I don't know if you've seen, I think video games do that, where you can actually change the perspective, especially like I remember playing games like Cruising World and Vigilante 8 and all these other these car games. You can change the perspective. You can look at it from the outside. You can look at it from the driver point of view. You can look at it from above. That's kind of how this dream was. It was like a shift in the perspective, the camera angle. All of a sudden, I became the actual runner. And so it's an interesting point for sure in the scenario, because that's what made the interpretation be so interesting, me becoming the runner. Because if you think about it, if you're becoming the runner, then this dream's for you. It's something that's significant in this situation. So I shared this with many people, that I was a runner. I ran with this torch, but it wasn't the same as the first person that is actually passing it off. So because I saw that person pass the torch off. This is from the point of passing it off, going forth to pass it off again, that I actually became the runner and had that runner view. And so, just to make sense of it, I actually ended up being at the light post and no one being there. And so that's where the dream ended. So I saw the first guy successfully pass off the torch, and then all of a sudden I became the runner. And when I got to the destination, there was no one there. And that's when the dream ended. And so that happened twice. So that was very frustrating. I tried to keep dreaming. I tried to keep, what's happening next after this, because basically I would end up at the circle and then no one was there for me to pass off the torch. And then the dream ended just like that. I remember seeing myself just like almost begin to yell out, whether I did or not, like, hey, is anyone here? Where do I go next? What do I do? And so the dream ended. Now, the third time I had the dream, interestingly enough, the Lord allowed for the dream to continue just for enough seconds for me to see what happened next. Well, I walked around the circle. I called out for someone, hey, is anyone there? And no one said anything. It was just dark. It was just me and that lamppost and that circle, looking for the next runner. No one was there. And so I just took off running. And then I see this. The perspective changed again to me watching the runner. And then the dream ended. And so I've shared that several times. And I've had many people interpret it different ways, which is exciting and interesting. And I'm sure you might have an interpretation for me. But the beautiful thing is God has given me that interpretation. And that's what I'm going to be explaining through the book. So this is not the only book. The first book is called Life's Like Coffee. The tagline, it's as good as you make it. The second book will be called Better and Better, hence the name of the podcast, Better and Better. So ultimately the vision and the mission is Better and Better, which I think is going to be a huge paradigm shift in your mind. Obviously, I'm changing. I'll be honest with you. I'm changing on purpose. I'm growing. I'm forcing myself to become better for my children, for my wife, for my business, for my friends, and for my future. And so I really hope that this is going to be like a really big blessing to you. This whole thing is I promise you, if you stick with me, and I'm going to be beginning to explain some things that are going to be exciting and very interesting to you. So let me dive into one of the most shocking things. All right, so don't drop off with me yet. This is where I feel like most people think I had lost my marbles. Something's happened to Johnny. Hadn't had enough coffee. This is about time travel. And so I want to help you understand what I mean by that. What can you do today that will actually change your future? Is time travel possible? Can you change the future version of yourself today? And so that's what I'm going to get at in the beginning of the book. Now, the book being called Life's Like Coffee, some of it will actually be to do with the actual coffee shop, which if you don't know me very well, I do own a local coffee shop with a couple partners. It is called the Roastery Coffee Company. In fact, I'm actually sitting in my office inside of the Roastery right now. And so that's where I'll be doing the podcasting from. And so the book will be about the journey of starting this coffee shop. But in the midst of the journey of that will be the concepts and the principles that will lead us into the bigger book, which will be written in 2026, God willing, called Better and Better. And so I'm going to be introducing the concepts, and one of those concepts is time travel. So stick with me. It's going to be interesting because my second dream is what I'm going to be talking about in the next podcast. We're going to be getting into the nitty-gritty of the actual, I guess you might say, the thematic narrative that the book will begin to lay out as I begin to draft every single page towards the ultimate goal, which is this bigger book called Better and Better. Now, the first book, like I said, my goal is to finish it by the time I'm 40. That's March 15th. And so hopefully, I will be actually holding a book in my hand when I turn 40, and we can have a celebration together, a book launch party, and that book will be a coffee table book. That's what I call it. It's just a short read, a fun read, something that's quick moving and just engaging, exciting, because some of these concepts I'll build, but not to the fullness, because they're complex for sure. And that complexity will be built out further into the next book, which is Better and Better. So what you can expect as I get into the next dream and I get into the time travel concept is I'm going to be presenting a page daily. And so that's my goal. Every day you'll have the first page, the second page of the book, and so on and so forth until we get to the end. Like I said, about 50 to 75 pages is my goal, and then we'll publish. And I'm very excited about all that. And here's how you can get involved. Simply, on Facebook is probably the best place for this to happen. You can go and actually like Better and Better Podcast on Facebook if you're not already a part of that group. And so every single day that page will be posted, and you can read it and you can give me your thoughts. You can give me your thoughts on, hey, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. Here's a more clear way to maybe say this or whatever. I am up for constructive criticism. I want it. I'm inviting you to it, okay? I'm inviting you to give me your ideas. Hey, this is, maybe not a way I would say it. I would say it a different way. I'm looking for that. I would love that. And so that's the first thing. Now, I want to explain to you as well that every podcast, I will be going through these pages. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be presenting the pages, the concepts, and what's being written, and then I'll be looking for you to tell me, hey, I would say it like this, or hey, this is really great. Keep moving with this. Maybe some encouragement would be nice, right? But in closing, in this shorter version of a podcast, I want to share with you the reason why I feel so urgent to do this. So, September 10th of 2025 was such a shocking day for the entire world as we watched Charlie Kirk, leader of TP USA, Turning Point USA, be assassinated at his event. When that happened, I want to contrast for you, from my perspective. My brother committed suicide in 2019, and he left his children, as far as I know, with nothing in terms of any type of insurance policy or, finances or resources. As far as I know, it would be nothing. No words. They can't call on him to, them to ask him questions or give fatherly insight or advice in this moment in their life as they're trying to, navigate life from different perspectives, different ages, different, of course, females, males. They're going through different things. They are, getting married and moving on from grade to grade and dealing with situations and relationships and finances, all these things. And they don't have their father to say, hey, what should I do here? Or, their father to give them advice. However, contrasting that with Charlie Kirk, who has hundreds of hours of content speaking on faith, family, love, relationships, politics, defending the faith, history, education, academia, you just name it, music, just a plethora of topics. It's an understatement. He's written books. It's all there for them. And so though he die, he lives on because his voice is there. His perspective, his thoughts, right there. So as his two children grow up, which are much older than my nephews and nieces, they'll have him. They can call on him, basically, by reading and by watching. When they have questions, their father is there. His voice is still there. And it's strong. It's a strong voice, as you know. And so I thought to myself, if I died before age 40, God forbid, what would my children have of me? They would have some YouTube videos. I have some YouTube videos out there. They'd have maybe a few blogs and stuff. But when it comes down to things that I feel like is very important and what I'd want to pass down to them, because there's some very serious, very, very, very serious things that I must tell my son and I must tell my daughter. It's yet to be done. And so now is the time. I was 35 when I was supposed to write this book, and thank God, the silver lining there, Charlie Kirk's death, is that it spurred me forth to be very serious and urgent with the time, because we don't know what tomorrow holds. I'm not, by the way, terminally ill. I don't think I'm going to die, but I'm saying that Charlie Kirk didn't know he was going to die either. He thought he would have the next day and the next day, but guess what? His life was snuffed out. And so that's the contrast I'm building to help you understand the urgency of the hour that I feel. The reason why I'm doing this before I'm age 40 is because I know if I do not do this now, I will be 45 going, oh my gosh, I was supposed to write that book 10 years ago. I can't do that anymore. I can't do it anymore. That's why we're doing this podcast, is because I must do this for my children. If I died before I'm 40, at the very least, you can share this with my children and say, look what your dad was doing for you. Look what your father was doing. Listen to him. Listen to what he has to say to you. Because this book is for sure dedicated to them, but it will reach anybody. It's not a children's book, by the way. It's for adults. It's for anyone. I'm hoping to answer a lot of life's questions with this podcast and give them beautiful, amazing tools on how to become better and better. Anyway, once again, thank you for joining me. This has been fun. I'm excited about the future, y'all. It's going to be great. We're going to have a lot of fun together. And hey, once again, thank you for caring. Thank you for just tuning in. It means a lot to me. And make sure you watch, of course, the next podcast. Listen in, because I'm going to get a chance to share that other dream. I'm going to get a chance to unfold some of these concepts. And I guarantee you, you won't be disappointed for sure the next time I drop in.